Hello, everybody. Can anyone hear me in the chat? Let me know. Well, obviously can't hear me in the chat, but can you hear me? And let me know in the chat. So, welcome everyone that's currently watching. I think we've got at least 4 people watching at the moment. But let's welcome our guest, Mr. Toy Polloi. Welcome, Mr. Toy Polloi.
Hello. Thanks for having me. Nice to see you. It's been a long time since we've met up in person, but always nice to chat virtually as it is.
Yes. And if you guys didn't know, Dave from Toy Polloi and I have been friends for a number of years, and we actually did a live stream just a couple months ago for 80s Japanese toys, which is still on the channel. But I'm sure all of you guys are familiar with Toy Polloi and his awesome channel of restoring vintage toys. And I'm a big fan, and but I thought it would be really fun to have him on the channel today because he sent me a box of stuff, and I'm excited to know what's in here. He listed some things that I was interested in, but I don't know exactly what he's put in here. So essentially, every year he and I kind of do little box trades when COVID hit, since there's no way for him to come here. In the past, we would do trades where he would come to Tokyo, we would hang out and trade some stuff. But yeah, recently it's been via box, and I've done some unboxings of stuff he sent, and he's done some unboxings of stuff I've sent. So today we're going to do a special live version of that.
Yeah, and it's interesting for me, as I was mentioning off camera, I've forgotten what I sent you. So, you know, I remember a couple of things, but a lot of it I can't remember. I was sort of packing the box up, and every time there's a bit more space, I think, well, I'll just stick something else in it. So it's one of those, a bit of everything. And yeah, I cannot remember. Although I think you did just twig on something. So I have remembered one part, at least the top 2 things I did send you. So.
All right, cool. Well, yeah, I'm excited to see what's in here. And yeah, you've currently got a package from me on the way. I think it should be arriving soon. That would be amazing if it arrived during a live stream. Like it just got delivered during the live stream.
Yeah, unfortunately, our post has already been today, and I know it wasn't in it. So it was a very disappointing post, just bills and dull stuff. So no toy goodies for me today. Maybe next week.
Yeah, maybe. All right, I'm gonna remove my spectacles. I know usually I do my live streams with these on, but hey, you can see my actual eyes. I rarely show my actual eyes, like in the past year or so. I haven't shown my actual eyes in any of my videos. I don't know. I like these glasses too much.
I don't have the benefit of being able to wear silly glasses. I can't see anything without these ones, so you just have to put up with these.
Yeah, I've got all right vision. All right, so we're gonna crack this open. The box it's got some weight to it. Yeah, let's go in. Let's go inside and see. Any predictions? Leave your predictions in the comments in the live chat. If you're familiar with Dave's channel, you know this type of stuff he usually deals with, and you know the kind of stuff that I usually like to collect outside of Japan. So leave some.
Yeah, I think it's all Western stuff. There's nothing Japanese in there, because it'd be silly of me to send you stuff that's much easier for you to get over your way. So it's all Western based things.
All right, before I dig in here, let's say hello to everyone that is watching currently. We've got Carnage 6X. Hello, Mr. Carnage. Pigumon, that's Mr. Chris, who I was just with and ran here from Akihabara to get to the live stream.
Hi, Chris.
Monkey Magic and Vintage Toy Rush and the Dude, or just Dude.
Oh, and say Vintage Toy Rush is another Dave, actually. He sent me a package which was on my channel. I think it was this week, an unboxing with some Robo Skull parts. So I say hi to Dave. Hi, Dave.
Hey, I could use a Robo Skull.
Well, I have 2 in the works. You never know, but I think it's a long-term project. Those ones, it's quite a feat to get them complete.
Let's see. We've also got Jack Reeve, which I believe that's my cousin. Hi, Jake. Back at home in Kentucky. Kaiju McCartney, fellow Brit here in the house. Well, fellow Brit for you. I'm not British, if you hadn't noticed. Oh, Mint in Box movie. If you guys aren't familiar with the Mint in Box documentary, check out that. I guess the link there for that account. It's a documentary that's about all the vintage Japanese toys that and it features a bunch of different collectors. It's been years in the making. Definitely check it out. All right, we're gonna get started. Thank you guys for joining. We got about a dozen people in the house now. I guess most of you guys are probably watching from the U.S., but I know there's some here on closer to our time zones. Here in Japan, it's currently a little after 11 o'clock. And what time is it there right now, Dave?
It's just after 2 in the afternoon, so a nice one for me. I've had lunch. I feel good.
Well, the rest of you guys are probably just waking up. All right, so let's see. The first thing in the box is this beautiful, lovely Toy Polloi card.
Who drew that then?
Yeah, so Dave as G.I. Joe. And for those that don't know, I actually illustrated this for Dave, what, a year ago or so?
Yeah, it was done for one of the Cobra Convergence things on YouTube, you know, when they do sort of a week's worth of Cobra videos. And yeah, I got Jeremy to G.I. Joe me up for a little animation that appears in some of my videos. And I thought, as I've been making these they're sort of business cards, trading cards things, I thought it'd be nice to actually feature you on one of them. So number 30 is now always going to be your bit of artwork. So
thank you very much. I would love to see you insert this version of you animated, inserted in one of the old G.I. Joe those weird PSAs. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, I'd have to find someone to do a sort of a real sort of mock American voice, or I need someone to actually impersonate me, really doing a British American voice or something. That'd be good. Yeah.
I quote those like constantly on a daily basis.
Yeah, they're really funny.
My students, I'll like say to one of my students, "Hey kid, I'm a computer. Stop all the downloading." And they're like, "What are you talking about?" All right, check this out. Ecto Cooler sticker with Egon holding a super soaker. Yeah, that's awesome. That's like I was given a box of stuff recently. A good friend of mine, JJ Adams, who he's a sort of an artist here in the UK, sent me a load of patches for the jacket that I'm working on, and he included he included a few of those in there. But as soon as I saw it, I thought that's more you than me. So that's actually, I'm going to say that's a gift passed on from him to you. But I just thought it'd be more suitable for you with your Ghostbusters, stuff. So I've both. Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely like an encapsulation of my childhood right there.
As soon as I saw it, I've got like the other ones were sort of all Dungeons and Dragons and He-Man stuff, but that one I just thought was particularly you. So I thought I would pass it on to you as a sort of gift via myself to you.
Let's see. We've got a prediction in here from Dude. He predicts there's going to be a Poundland Transformer in here. I would love to see some Poundland stuff, to be honest. I'm a big fan of Ashen's YouTube channel. I love all those Poundland. All right, next up we've got some Star Wars cards, some vintage Star Wars cards.
Yep.
And I don't think I have ever had any of these vintage.
Have you not?
I don't think so.
It's not a complete set, but that's a good chunk of the red selection. They're getting hard to find here, like because Star Wars is so popular. So they're getting sort of tougher to come by.
I see. Yeah, there's a lot in here. I'm not going to go through all of them, but yeah, they
smell old. Yeah, they smell really, really old. They've got a right musty.
They look good though. Like they're pretty decent condition. These are really nice. Yeah, I've got some card files because my kids collect some cards and they've got tons of extra files, so I can file these away and keep them protected. And there's actually a whole nother lot in blue.
Yeah, there's the blue set as well. Again, not a full set, but it's a good starter pack for you. I do come by them occasionally. As I say, they are just getting a bit harder to come by. I think everybody knows their worth. Everybody knows Star Wars is worth money, but if I find more, I'll send them your way. Yeah. And we can do some trades.
Yeah, so these are all from the original film, yeah, not from the sequels, yeah.
No, so they're from 1977, so slightly younger than me.
Yeah, and they've got I guess they form a puzzle on the back of an image. I know there's a technical term for those kinds of cards, but I don't recall.
Just puzzles, aren't they? They're just puzzle cards. I'd just call them puzzles, you know.
All right. I'm just gonna grab the first thing that's like kind of fallen out here. Okay, I've forgotten this character's name, but I often eyeball this because I believe this is from the Filmation Ghostbusters, correct?
Yeah, it is. It is. I don't know his name either. He should have a cape or something, but
yeah,
he's been in my collection for a long time and it doesn't really fit with my collection. But I know you like Ghostbusters, but not that Ghostbusters. But I thought it would be better.
I do love this design. Yeah, it's a very cool design.
It's weird, isn't it? Yeah,
I like this.
Yeah, it's the non-filmation one, and the reason that Ghostbusters is called the real Ghostbusters is that, isn't it?
Yeah, who does anyone know the name of this character? I know he's like the main villain. This Ghostbusters figure is hard to find. Yeah, well, I need to get him a cape. He looks great even without the cape. But yeah, I wonder if does he glow in the dark, or is he just?
Yeah, I think he's supposed to glow in the dark. Yeah, yeah.
Hard to tell in here, but yeah, this is awesome. I'll figure out his name if no one posts it. That's really cool. I like the size of it too. Yeah, anything with a skirt like that's awesome. You know, one of the figures I sent you has a similar sculpt, much smaller. I think last year I sent you this figure.
Oh, you did, yeah. With a sort of swappable head, isn't he? Got a few different heads on him.
And then later I was like, damn, that's the only one I have. I really like that one. So I went back and bought another one. It got hard to find. But I'm missing the one with like the snake head. But yeah, it's got that same the same kind of like base. I love the figures that have these like kind of skirted bases.
Did you see the new the Effontmon figure that I reviewed? The guy, the new 17 or the next 17 guy.
No, I hadn't seen that.
Oh, this is a guy. I think he's in Holland. Makes these, so it's a sort of Star Wars style figure, but he's just like this massive solid lump of plastic at the bottom with just removable arms. I think that's one of the reasons I like him. He's just like a heavy weight of these sort of things. So yeah, if you go onto Instagram, check out the next 17. I think he's hoping to make more sort of different sort of unmade Star Wars figures. But yeah, this is just like a weighty chunk of plastic. It's lovely.
Oh, yeah, I'll have to check it out. Oh, someone has commented, Carnage 6X. His name is Prime Evil. Thank you, Carnage, for that information. Right. That's right, Prime Evil. I believe they have a carded version of this at 2000 Toys in Koenji, and they have it hanging on the ceiling. But you know, carded, they're asking quite a lot for him. So I've never gone.
Well, if you ever find the cape, let me know, because I can make a pattern of it. I've never been able to find the cape for him because it's one that I wanted to sort of, it should be fairly straightforward, but I've never managed to find another one to work from. All
right. I'll keep an eye out for a cape, and now everyone watching can also keep an eye out for a cape. Send it to Dave, and he can make patterns for everyone across the world. All right, let's see next. Oh, maybe I'll grab another big chunky thing. Now I can tell what character this is, and this is perfect timing because I'm on a bit of a binge of this character right now, and it's all thanks to my son who's recently gotten back into this. And that character is Spider-Man.
Ah, yes, that is another sort of pass-on gift, I'm going to say. Maybe a year ago, I was sent a massive box of broken toys by Mysterion, the mentalist sort of magician guy from Canada, and in was that, but it was all busted up. And I remember you saw it and you said, "I really like that because it's like a bootleg sort of Spider-Man." Yeah. So I fixed him up and repaired him.
Yeah, I see where you've repaired his arm here.
I think it was actually his pelvis was snapped as well, so he's all sort of, he works again, but he's like a bootleg sort of Spider-Man. Doesn't fit with my collection, and I thought,
oh, this is perfect for mine.
Yeah, I'd rather pass these things on to someone who would appreciate them than just sit on my shelf here. So you sort of have to thank Mysterion for that, but he sent me a busted thing, I fixed it up, and I passed it on to you to someone who will enjoy it.
Well, thank you very much, Mysterion and Dave. Thank you for fixing it. Yeah, I couldn't tell that it had been fixed until I noticed that the pegs on the arms were two different colors. But yeah, it looks totally fine. But yeah,
but he's a weird sort of bootleg thing. I couldn't find any information about him at all as to where he came from.
I love bootlegs. I love bootlegs. So that's perfect. Yeah, and he has that look, that 1970s Spider-Man look, which is perfect.
Yeah. The head is very sort of much like a Migo doll type thing. Yeah. So, but the body is just weird. It's really weirdly constructed.
And he's got like quite a bit of articulation too.
He does, yeah. It's a strange old thing, yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's really cool. I love that. Thank you. All right. I think we've got some Star Wars figures in here. At least it looks like the size of Star Wars.
Well, you did say to me you've got Star Wars figures, but you don't have some of the more periphery characters,
right?
Which was quite vague. So I've sent you some more periphery characters. I'm hoping that you don't have, because I wasn't sure which ones you do have.
Okay, you're gonna have to. I know, of course, I'm a Star Wars fan too, and I know most of the names. And I used to know every single side character's name. And back in junior high school, some of these names I have buried in my memory. So you're gonna have to help me out with some of these guys. First off, we have this guy,
Reese.
Okay,
yeah, he's. I have to say that is probably my childhood favorite character, because I remember buying it from the supermarket. And never really actually seeing him in the movie, but I just love him because he's so weird with those sort of big fat hands that just like a strange.
Oh man, I want to give him a trench coat now and call him Kyle Reese and make him a part of the Terminator figure line.
So did you have that one?
No, I don't. I've never owned this figure in my life. Yeah, I love this the proportions and the sculpt on his face and his hands. Yeah, that's great.
That was a good guess then. That was a good guess.
Yes. And then this is Prune Face, I believe. Yes,
that is Prune Face. Yes, another periphery character. I think I made the cape for that one, so that's a handmade cape.
And interestingly, I had a Prune Face. I actually bought a Prune Face like last year, but after I took it home and I took his cape off, I realized that he was just like covered in mold. So I ended up just throwing it away. So now I've got a nice fresh one.
You got a nice Prune Face. Yeah, I made the cape for that. That's one of the capes that were featured in the video of me sort of fixing him up. So I
saw that one.
It's
always nice to get traits from you of stuff that you've fixed in videos. That's like a piece of your channel's history.
I think a lot of people like that. I'm just sorting out a package for our friend, our joint friend Stephen, and he actually owns the snow speeder that I customized, so the one with lights and stuff, and he owns that, and he says it's in pride of place in his collection, which is it's really nice that stuff is, people want those things. I don't have a lot of the things I fix up. They all tend to, I give them away.
They fly away. Yeah, I was actually talking. Steven's probably watching right now. Hi, Steven. Yeah, I was actually talking to him last night. He was showing me that snow speeder.
Yeah. No, it's nice. I like the fact that these things, I don't feel I add value to them, but I think other people do feel I add value to them, and they like the fact that they can watch it being fixed up, and then it sort of appears in their collection. So most of the stuff I fix up tends to get handed on to other people.
Someone, a couple people just pointed out that where'd he go? That this character was called something else outside of the USA. He was called Diabolus.
Right.
I guess somewhere. Anyway, Primeval sounds, it rolls off the tongue a bit more easy, I think.
I wonder if Primeval was then taken over, because we've had TV shows in the UK called Primeval and things like that, and there are other things around. So maybe it was just a copyrighted name. So
Amazon Prime.
Yeah,
quite cool. Up next, we've got a Playmobil character, I guess.
Yeah.
Or Playmobil. I can never say it.
Playmobil, I think. I don't know. Anyway, I've had that. That's been on my shelf for years. I bought it because it reminds me of a Micronaut time traveler, because he's clear plastic with a silver head. And I just thought you might enjoy having it as well. As I say, it's been in my collection for quite a while, but I know you love clear plastic toys.
I do have a small collection of Playmobil stuff. You can he's got something written inside of his head that you can. Oh, it says Playmobil. If you look under his chin, you can see
Oh, really?
Printed inside of his head. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I dig that.
I know you like clear plastic toys and that, so it's been in my collection for a few years, and now it can go into your collection. You can enjoy it as well. So.
Yeah, I like how you can see his kind of guts, his inner workings. Anything clear, as long as it's got some kind of inner guts, that makes it perfection. All right, I see some more Star Wars here. All right. And we have these two guys.
The Bespin Guards.
Yeah, Cloud City, yeah?
Yeah.
this guy reminds me of someone, but I can't. Maybe it's the singer of Primus. Is that who it is?
I don't know. If I do that, I know I could put a hat on and it's...
Yeah, that's true. It could be you. It's either you or Les Claypool.
Yeah, of quite similar. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I don't have. Yeah, I've got. I think I've got a Cloud Car Pilot. I think, and Lando, of course.
Right.
I don't think I have. I don't have any Ugnaughts or anything like that. So yeah,
right.
This will go nice with my Empire Strikes Back collection. Thank you.
Maybe next time I come actually get to travel to Japan, I'll have to bring you a Slave One, and then you can have a full diorama thing of stuff.
Oh man, that's one ship that I would actually, because I don't do ships because it's hard for me to display. But outside of an AT-AT and a Slave One, those are the only two that I would actually like.
Oh well, okay.
Display.
I know what to bring you when we travel. I'm not going to post it because it's too big, but that will fit in my suitcase. I will bring you a Slave One to add to your collection.
Thank you. But yeah, I'll have some more stuff prepared for you. You will have some vehicles coming your way soon, but I'm not going to say what. But don't worry.
Don't spoil it. I'll do an unboxing of your box when it arrives.
Yeah. But don't worry about space. They should fit nicely in crevices.
Have you seen my wall of toys is almost full now? I don't have much space here, and actually the rest of my room, which you can't see, is just jam packed. So
I can imagine. Same thing over here. Yeah.
My filming area gets smaller every time I film. There's a tighter and tighter area that I get to film in. So
let's see. This guy, I know this droid's name and number, but it's escaping me at the moment.
FX7. It's the medical.
That's right.
The medical droid from the Echo base on Hoth.
Yes. I've never owned this figure, so that's another good one. You picked a bunch of good ones.
I guessed right then. When you said periphery characters, I was thinking, well, how periphery shall I go? I'll
Yeah, you're spot on. All right, let's see the chat here. What we got going on? I guess someone was saying that character reminds him of Buck Rogers. And good morning to Takumi from Miami. Involved FX7? In love FX7? What? Okay. I see. Well, I'm not sure what character this is. He's still in bubble wrap, but just from the chunkiness, I can tell this is a Masters of the Universe character. Ooh. Watch out!
It's Cobra Khan, isn't it? Oh, Cobra Khan, I think is his name. You can fill in with water and he squirts.
Right. And there's several different like snake themed characters, so I always get them mixed up in the Masters line. But yeah, he squirts water, right? And
you fill his chest with water, I think, and then you can squirt him out. So I'm
gonna put some hairspray in there with all my hair. I got lots of hair. Actually, I meant to cut it this morning, but I just didn't have time. But yeah, I've actually another figure I've never owned before. This is another really cool figure. Yeah, any of like the green or orange figures from the Masters lines, like I always gravitate towards those, unless they're just really colorful. I like the green ones. But yeah, there's still quite a few more chunky Masters figures, it looks like, in here.
Yeah, I can't remember how many I put in there, but there's a few in there, certainly. Yeah.
Let's see, Momo, Toys Forever, guys. Yes. Salacious Rum. Good afternoon from Salacious Rum. Good afternoon, Salacious Rum. All right.
The monkey lizard, that is, I think.
Yes. I do have a Salacious Crumb figure over there somewhere. This is one of my all-time favorite figures, and oh gosh, it's probably 5 or 6 years ago. I had amassed a decent Master of the Universe collection, and I traded off pretty much all of it other than He-Man, Skeletor, Battle Cat, and I think Beastman. And one of the ones that I regretted trading off was Hordak.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yes. And
He doesn't have a cape. I didn't have time to make him a cape, but you can follow my videos and make your own cape.
Yeah, I'll follow your video. His cape isn't too hard. His cape is pretty straightforward.
And a couple of the figures might have loose legs, and there is something else in there. And I will have to say, look inside the head, but you'll get that in a minute, and then you'll see why.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, Hordak. Like I was saying, Hordak, and now that the Origins line is out, Hordak has been something I grabbed lots of. Like, I try to get pretty much every version of Hordak that comes out now. And I think they just did a Filmation version of the Origins Hordak. This is the Super 7 one. But yeah, now I've got a nice little Hordak family.
Did I include his crossbow?
Maybe it fell out.
Oh, if I didn't, I've forgotten to.
I've got several of the Origins ones, which they're almost identical.
Yeah. Oh, if I didn't, I've forgotten to put it in the box, because I thought I'd put his crossbow in there as well. I'll dig that out and I'll stick that in the next package.
Thank you, but yeah, no worries. All right, Hordak. Yeah, I don't see it in here, so yeah. Don't
okay. I must have forgotten then. I'll stick it in the next package of stuff.
Well, thank you. All right, let's see here. More Motu. Yes. This is another one that I regretted trading off. And if you guys followed me for a long time, you know that I used to have a separate channel called Kentucky Fried Gaijin with my friend Kuro Don. And Dave also is friends with our mutual friend Don. And his favorite Master of the Universe character is this one right here, Roboto.
It's a great.
I think I traded mine to him.
It's a great. I love the sort of internal workings of it. It's just such a nice idea.
Oh, I'm always going the wrong way. Yeah, this one feels so smooth too. Oh, it's really nice and clean. Oh man, that's one thing. I actually didn't buy the the Origins versions of this because they didn't do the green and orange gears in the back. They only did the front ones, and that was like kind of a cheap move. Like that kind of, I don't know, like not having those extra gears in the back just kind of ruined it for me. But yeah, this is great.
It's just a great looking toy. I like things like that where you can see sort of inner workings of them, and little bits moving. It just adds that extra level to it. So yeah.
Did you have any favorite Masters of the Universe figures? Did you collect it, or was it like coming out when you were kind of getting out of toys, or?
I had a strange love for Ram Man, which I've done. I actually wrote an article. I wrote an article about recently, and I don't know why. Because Ram Man is a rubbish figure, and like he's a rubbish character, really, but he's a rubbish figure. But I absolutely was desperate to get Ram Man, and I never did. I made one out of felt in the end, so I had a little sort of plush one that I made myself.
That's great.
I think I had. My mum has it. My mum has it. So I see it occasionally. It's not very big. It's probably about half the height of a He-Man figure, but it's I must have been 10 or 11. It's really well made. I have no idea, like I wouldn't be able to make it now, how cool it is. But so yeah, Ram Man, I wanted. I think like as a kid I had Manny faces and Trapjaw that I found at a jumble sale one day. That they were the only two figures I ever had. Now I've got quite a few, mainly Skeletors. That's still my big thing. I must have about 40 Skeletors now, and it's growing. And I've ended up making my own version. So I've now got Prince Skeletor. I was bored. And also the very rare Wonder Bread Skeletor.
Yeah, well, I saw you post that.
Well, you see, these are one of a kinds now. Surely that someone wants to give me £500 for Wonder Bread Skeletor. I'm happy to take it.
You mean Savage Skeletor?
Oh, Savage Skeletor. Yeah, because Wonder Bread has been. We know it's not Wonder Bread now, but yeah, it's very rare. I had to mail away for it at some point. I think only one exists.
Yeah, it was for Rye Bread. Wonder Bread.
I think the equivalent here would be Milk Loaf or something like that, or some awful thing that you could get.
Milk Loaf Skeletor. There we go. All right, let's see here. What we got in the comments? We got Oliver Belmonte said he had Cobra Khan way back in 1985. And, 85, let's see, in 85, I was 3. And I think the first He-Man toy I ever got was Battle Damage He-Man.
Yeah, the one with the chest, yeah.
And it was like the very first house my family lived in, and my brother had just been born. And my aunt brought it. I remember she brought it in like on the blister card and gave it to me, and I was like, oh, cool. But that's like one of my very first action figure memory of ever was that He-Man. But yeah, I never had many of the bad guys, which is sad. But I know I had Stinkor. I vividly remember him, and maybe Moss Man. But yeah, I guess all of the stuff that I had kind of came later in the line.
Yeah, obviously, in '85 I would have been 11, so I still, I was still playing with toys. To be honest, I didn't stop playing with toys. But let's face it, I haven't stopped playing with toys, and I'm nearly 50. So it's I think He-Man I was interested in, but I think I was more interested in Transformers around that time, and so all of my money went trying to buy Transformers. Not that I ever managed to save up for it, but that was my big thing then, more than He-Man. Whereas now, I can lean over here and there's all sorts. I've got my I've got a Skeletor money box, which would have helped me save a lot better as a child.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, I think it's I remember them more, growing up now than having them at the time. I think it was Transformers definitely. It's the one for me.
Yeah, the only one I ever had was oh Lord, Bumblebee. I had the first little Bumblebee. That was the only Transformer I ever owned. The only Transformer I would actually want to have in my collection again. But
well, I may be able to sort you out one of those as well. I have a.
I should stop saying things now.
Yeah, stop saying things. I can. In fact, what I'll do is I will remember, and you can have this one that I fixed up fairly recently. It's a nice little Bumblebee. So I'll put that in. I'll put that by as something I can give to you. So it was a broken up Bumblebee, so he's now nice again. So don't let me forget.
Okay,
I've got to remember these things. Slave One, Bumblebee.
It's all recorded on YouTube, so just gonna refresh it. But anyway, thank you. Yeah, thank you very much for offering. I've got some other stuff. There's actually 2 things I forgot to put in your box, so yeah, I've still got some stuff waiting for you as well.
Well, so that's the problem. Like when we always, whenever we chat, we always talk about things, and it's always like, "Oh, well, I've got one of those," because you'll say something, and likewise I'll say, "Oh, this," and you're like, "Oh, yeah, I've got one of those." That's the problem with being 6,000 miles apart or something. It's if we were sort of down the road from each other, it'd be like, "Oh, yeah, I'll just pop that one round, and you can have it."
Yeah, maybe one summer I'll come and live out there in the English countryside and grow some vegetables. That'd be a nice change of pace.
Yeah. You're always welcome here if you want to visit, as you know. You're more
definitely
than welcome.
We'll see how things go. Hopefully that'll be something that's a possibility in the near future.
Yeah. Well, we're desperate to come over again to Japan. So as soon as the the rules change and the Japanese government allow travel from the UK, I think we'll be booking a holiday. So you may see us, imminently.
Awesome. Looking forward to it. All right, let's see. Go back to the chat for just a moment. We got a good morning from Juan Vasquez. Good morning. 9:25. I guess he's probably stateside or South America in that time zone. We've got Oliver Belmonte again. He said, I never got Hordak, only had Leech, Grizzlor, and my brother had Modulok. Modulok's another one. Yep.
Oh yeah, Modulok's an odd one, but Leech is a really odd one. I do have him, but I just don't like him. There's something about that big sucker of a face sort of thing.
Yeah,
it's just weird. I'll just see if I can find him. I'm sure he's down here somewhere, but he's such a weird character.
He is. Modulok's one that I never really knew much about until I guess the last few years. I didn't even realize it was a figure that it was obviously modular, named after being a modular. That was something I didn't know until like recently, but I've been more interested in him since then. But Grizzlor is one of my favorites that I still have in my collection.
Yeah, he's a weird ball, just a big ball of fluff with a tiny
Yeah.
little face poking out. Yeah.
Yeah, I got mine back there somewhere. Let's see. We've also got Mint and Box movie. Also my favorite as a kid. Okay, he was talking about the Roboto. Looks like we got a few fans of the Roboto. Zantara said they didn't get rid of theirs, and Pigmon. And then Mint and Box said that it's funny. A few months ago at the Brimfield Flea Market, someone picked up a minty Wonder Bread He-Man for $15 in a random bin.
Blimey. Yeah,
wow.
That's a lucky find.
Yeah, that is a lucky find. I've been wanting to customize one just so I could have one to display. Is that a real one? Or is
of course, yeah. No, it's a real one, of course. Yes. I don't have a video on how I made it or anything like that.
You never paint toys or anything, right?
No, I never touched them up because that devalues them, apparently. Yeah, no, this is made out of the body of a Fisto with the legs of and arms of He-Man, and it's just it's an easy one to make. I don't think his arm. Yeah,
Yeah, I want to make one for myself. I think I may have some parts. I need maybe. I guess I could probably make an Origins version. It'd be quite silly.
It's a fun figure to make. I like it. I see quite a lot of people do it, and they paint the pelvis the brown color. But if you use a Fisto body, the pelvis is the right color already, and then you just have to paint his belt, which is it's a much easier way of doing it, and doesn't actually maybe this has even got Fisto's legs. I think this has got Fisto's legs because I've just painted his boots black. So it's an easy one to do. And but no, this is not original. I have not paid silly money for it.
Yeah.
Although as we said, the Wonder Bread Skeletor, that is an original.
Milk Loaf Skeletor, right?
Milk Loaf Skeletor, yeah.
Let's see. Pigmon said that all of his money went to Transformers as well, just like you. Yeah, you guys. I think you guys are about the same generation as well. And then we've got Toy Mania in the house. Hello, Toy Mania. He's also a YouTuber based in Mexico. I did a live stream on his channel like a week ago or 2 weeks ago. He collects pretty much almost the exact same stuff I do. It's kind of bizarre. It's like Microman, Evangelion, Sophobie. It's wild. Let's see. Carnage. I have a red Bumblebee variant from when I was a kid, and I was upset I could never find the yellow one. I didn't know there was a red variant of the Bumblebee.
There's a few different versions. Like I never bought Bumblebee as a kid. I bought one called Hubcap, which it looks a bit like Bumblebee, but he's not. And then there's all sorts of different versions of Hubcap that are available in red with different head. I mean, I sort of used to be much more up to what the variants were, but there were so many of those. It's hard to keep up. And they've reissued Bumblebee a few times. I think there was a keyring version of him as well, like within the last 10 years. So,
oh really?
Yeah, it's I don't know. I'm just looking on my shelf down there. I can see at least 3 versions of Bumblebee down there. Different colors and different heads. I gave up bothering to worry about it.
Right, and that was technically the part of the Diaclone line, right? The original.
Yeah,
and that's what Minton movie was saying, that their first Diaclone was the yellow Sunstreaker.
Yeah. Well, I think I showed in the 80s toy thing we did. I've got the original Optimus Prime, where he's called Convoy.
Right.
With the giant. He's not called Optimus on that. And that's, I don't think that was Diaclone. I think that was the Transformers version, but it was still before it had been named properly. So there's all sorts of versions of these ones. It's very hard to keep up.
Yeah, it's too much for me. I never even tried to keep up. Never even tried to dive into it. Let's see. Toy Mania. Ruben says, in Mexico, the Transformers were made by IGA Factory, and the funny thing is that the paint was toxic. Well, that's another dimension to those. Are the Mexican Transformers highly sought after? I know most of the Mexican variants of the vintage toys are usually pretty sought after, but I'm not sure about the Mexican.
I'm sure they are. If anything that is just harder to get, you know, like it's the same with every toy line. Anything that's slightly harder to get makes it more like worth more. It's like the French version of He-Man. Everybody seems to want the French version of He-Man, even though
Oh my God! I found one today. I found a French He-Man
with a like bright yellow hair. He's always got terrible paint, but everybody seems to want him. I've got one just over here.
This had pretty decent paint, and the head is like, it looks like it to me. It looks like it was slightly smaller. I don't know if that's.
Well, look, if I
It
put
looks like it,
that is a French He-Man. So it's always got terrible paint, but it's like bright yellow. That the face is always worn off.
The one I found today was at Jungle. Chris was with me. That's watching, and it was like they had it bagged up, and they had it with like the original comic that came with it in French, and the price tag on it was like $250, I think.
Right.
But it looked like it had never been touched. It was just like, it looked gorgeous, and I was like, wow, this is great, but I don't want to. I don't know. Like,
the weird thing is with French He-Man, about I'm going to say 25 years ago, I used to live in near London, and there was an old model shop down in the town that I lived in, and every once in a while the guy who owned it had obviously got a lockup somewhere, and he'd go in the lockup and find all these old things that he'd never sold before. He'd stick them in this basket and charge £1 for them, and I picked up a carded French He-Man for £1, which I gave to my friend who still got it, but it was like a carded French He-Man for £1. That must, like, now that's probably, you're probably talking sort of 400 or 500 quid for this thing. But I found it and I gave it to my mate. Oh, I wish I hadn't now, obviously, because I could have retired.
Oh,
but it was a fantastic shop. I found so much stuff down there. I found Dungeons and Dragons figures, and Mrs. Toy Polloi likes Pippa, which is a sort of weird, sort of little 70s doll. Again, I actually have one here. Well, these I found outfits for her for £1. But this guy every week would just pull out stuff that he'd found in his lockup and stick it in this basket. It's an amazing shop. I don't think you'd get that these days. You know, people know know the worth of it. But 25 years ago, when I was started collecting again, it's like, oh wow, amazing.
Yeah, that's a great find right there.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm going to run through these. I'm going to catch up back on these comments real quick, and then I'll dive back into the box. Let's see here. Trying to see if there's anything relevant. I think a lot of these are older comments that we have already moved on from. Yeah, I think we can move on from the comments. Also, I think I need to refresh mine. Mine is super laggy on my PC. All right, we're just gonna jump back into the box here. I'm just gonna. I see some stuff that looks like it's non Master of the Universe, but
I've just been joined by my cat, so she's just going to come and say hello to everyone. So this is Luna. She is
Luna, yeah.
She is my general helper, but she just decided to come and say hello while we're live streaming. So sorry about that. You just get to see her tail for the moment.
Hi, Luna.
Right, that's enough. I think she's off now. She just wanted to come and disturb me, so she was scratching at the door. I've got to go and shut it again. There you go.
All right.
That's the fun of live streams. The animals come and say hello.
My dog, I wonder what my dog would do. She'd probably bark at you. She's met you before, though. She's pretty cool when you're inside.
Yeah, no, she was. I think she came and sat next to us while we were. Well, we did a video at one point. I'm sure she sat next to us while we were filming. So
right, that's true. Yeah, I wonder if she remembers you from the sound of your voice. All right, next up we have this guy.
It's Jitsu, I think is his name. Is it
Jitsu?
Yeah, his hand is a little loose, but the spring action works. So
yeah, I've never owned this guy. I love his facial expression. He looks like someone I used to know back home. Don't remember what his name was. But yeah, that's really cool. And he's got a what do you call it, vac metal hand. So I guess his did he come with like something to chop?
I don't remember. I think I've got one. I do have a complete one. He comes with a sword, you know, for the other hand. But I don't think he came in with anything more than that. It was just basically he's the same as Fisto. They just put a, you know, a gold hand on him rather than the big fist thing that he has.
I always get him and Fisto mixed up. They've got a similar thing going. But yeah, they should have made like a, I don't know, a board or something for him to chop in half, or a stone. That would have been a nice little action gimmick. All right, I can tell what this is just by the colors through the plastic. I believe this is a Sky Clone.
It is.
Oh gosh, he almost flew away. Yeah, this is another one I've never owned before.
Yeah, Cyclone. So you sort of hold the back of his and twist him a bit, and his arms spin out.
Oh wait, you can do it from here, right?
Yeah, you sort of hold his legs and twist the thing on it. It's really awkward to do because you've got to get him spinning before he hits your sort of knuckles.
Right. Yeah, my fingers are so long, it's just hard for me to do. Well, for now, I'll just spin it like this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I noticed every time I find him, he's usually missing this little decal on his chest, which is renticular.
I don't think that's the one I don't think. Yeah, that is an original one. I did a video and I made some of those, but they don't work. That is an original lenticular one, so it does actually change.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, he's cool. Like when I was a kid, I remember seeing this and I just thought it was like some kind of weird space He-Man, you know. But then I didn't know about the actual space He-Man that actually came out a few years later. By the way, like one of the first figures I think that you gave to me in a trade was the New Adventure Skeletor.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yes, which I ended up upgrading to a card.
Oh, lovely.
Yes.
Very nice. Yeah.
I love the artwork on these guys.
Yeah, I think it's. I'm not a massive fan of those figures, but I do like the Skeletor.
They're terrible figures.
Yeah,
but the Skeletor is great, and the other variants of him are really cool too.
Some of the vehicles are good. I think I've shown you before. Let me just grab it off the shelf if it doesn't fall off. There's a couple of the vehicles that I really like. This one, the Doom Copter.
Yeah, that's great.
That's fantastic. You have to have the right figure inside it because you see his eye. There's one of the characters is called Optic. His head is just this massive eyeball. If I take the front of this off,
yeah, I've seen him. Yeah,
you can see he's just got a massive eyeball for a head. Yeah,
it's great.
So if you get the Doom Copter, you have to get Optic because then you can have this sort of eyeball just peering out through the helicopter.
Oh, that's great.
So I think that the
wish list.
There's another one called the Pteropod, which is a two-legged sort of walking thing. That's the only other vehicle I have from this line, but I think they're worth getting, just this one and that one, and the rest of them are, I'm sure they're nice, but these are the best ones by far.
The other two of the other Skeletors, like they have like the skeletons for the chests. I can't remember what their action features are, but yeah, they're really cool looking.
Yeah, did you watch? I've only just got around to watching Ready Player One actually recently, the movie, and the sort of I can't remember the name of the character, but it was played by T.J. Miller, and his avatar is a big skeleton head for the chest, and it's so clearly a He-Man sort of nod when you see it.
New Adventures of He-Man Skeletor nod. Wow.
Yeah, I think so because his whole outfit just looks like Skeletor. So I'm sure that someone must have
to
done
rewatch
it on purpose.
I saw it, but yeah, I'll have to check that out. Yeah, everything in that movie references something.
Yeah, I think that's. It's not mentioned, but I just think that it's clearly a He-Man reference. That one.
Right. All right. I'm going to grab the next figure here. This is definitely not Master of the Universe. This is definitely one of my childhood favorites, though, and I do not have this one anymore.
I think I know which one it is, and I remember you saying to me one time, I don't have this figure anymore.
Yes.
So
it's this Janine.
Fright Features
Janine. Yes. Yes. This is one I remember playing with a whole lot when I was a kid. It's one of the better Janine figures as well. Like they did a version of her like with like a flight suit, but they didn't pack it with a proton pack. But you can swap out like one of the purple proton packs from the color changing ones, and it looks really good with her. But other than that figure, I think this is the best Janine, because the Screaming Heroes Janine just looks like a blow up doll.
Yeah, I have that. That's the one with the skirt that sort of flies up when you spin it. I think we've discussed that before, how weird that toy feature is, that the skirt flies up.
She looks like a prostitute or something, like prostitute Janine.
No, I remember. I think one time you said that you didn't have that version of Janine, or you got rid of it. So I thought I would include one.
Yes. Yeah, these are great. The Fright figures are always fun. Did you see recently they I forgot what company did it, but some company put out Kenner style Fright Features Stranger Things action figures.
Oh no, I've not seen those. No.
And they look like they were made by Kenner, like with the exact like similar mechanisms. Yeah, they're very interesting. They don't quite look as good. At least one of them didn't look as good, but yeah, they're nice little homages. Yeah, thank you very much for Janine. You know, my Ghostbusters collection is always expanding. All right, so you did ask me about these. I remember you asking me about these. You knew that I collected some of the Batman stuff related to like Michael Keaton and things, and I collect the candy jars and the little candy containers. So you've got a couple Batman candy jars here. And I cannot tell if this is Michael Keaton, George Clooney. I think it could be George Clooney. It's hard to tell.
I couldn't work it out. I don't.
But it looks
just a bit generic.
I love his eyes. Like they're like kind of looking up and off to the side there. Yeah. Do I have a? I think I was trying to see if I could compare it to one of the other ones I had, and I don't think it's possible for me to grab it without knocking about 1,000 things down. And then this one says this is definitely the Clooney or Kilmer version. This must be Keaton because the chin.
Right.
This right here, the chin on this, you can tell what's different. And I think this was the Batman and Robin version, because the bat insignia, the Batman Forever one was a bit different. So wait, which one was Batman? Batman Forever was George Clooney, and then Batman and Robin was Val Kilmer, or was it the other way around? I don't remember.
I've only watched the movies once, if at all. So it's not.
I saw Batman Forever a few times, but yeah, the other one I didn't see so much.
Well, if you open the one that is just the head.
Yeah. Oh, something inside.
That is a project for you. If any of those, it's COVID from the UK. That's what that is. It's some He-Man. So if any of those He-Man figures' legs are loose, which I think Skyclone's legs are loose, you've got some bands, so you can swap them out. And
wait, you mean these aren't little weights for them to lift, body build?
No, they're a little on the light side. So yeah, if you need to do it to fix any of your figures, there's a few He-Bands there as well to swap them out.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
I'm sure Skyclone is a bit loose, or Cyclone, whatever his name is. Skyclone.
Yeah. I thought it was Skyclone. I could be wrong.
I think it's Cyclone.
I can't remember. Let us know in the comments. Is this Skyclone or Skyclone or Cyclone? Guyclone.
I can't remember. Anyway, you've got some He-Bands to fix him up. So
I think it had to be one of the first videos I watched of yours was maybe how to replace He-Man's legs years ago with these things, and I never ordered any. Never got around to ordering any. So yeah, these are definitely.
I buy them in bulk. I have bags of them because I'm forever fixing He-Man toys and sort of repairing the legs. So I buy sort of 50 at a time just to have loads of them around.
I wanted to talk about this thing because I didn't really mention this before. I kind of like I've been trying to collect some of the He-Man bootlegs, and one of the, I guess, more difficult lines to find is the Oh God, now it's escaping me what they're called. Oh goodness, it'll come to me in a moment. But it's all female versions of. They're basically just mashups of Evelyn and Tila. But I found one on eBay for really cheap. But then I found out that these sell for $100 to $200 like loose like this. Is it heroine? No, it's not heroines. It's Forgotten Masters of the Galaxy or something like that. Something like it's Forgotten something. But they came with like skull staffs, and they all were just different color variants of those two characters. But the great thing about them is that they've got legs that are just molded into place. So yeah, so they're just stuck like that forever. But I could not pass this up when I saw it. I was like, this is glorious.
I've never seen that before. It's not something I've never seen those before at all. It's pretty cool, actually, isn't it? So, what is the head from? Is that a head they've sculpted themselves, or sort of modified?
It's actually the whole thing is actually like it's been added on to, like, even the body is not exactly the same, and each of these characters have a slightly different sculpts. Like there's one that's like in lavender, but they're all like, you can tell they took those figures and they just probably sculpted things on top of them.
Let me grab. I've got an Evil Lyn to hand. Ooh.
Yeah, I've got. Where's my Evil Lyn?
I've got. Well, if you hold up yours, I can hold up. There's an Evil Lyn, so we can sort of say, oh yeah, they have changed a few bits, haven't they? They've certainly, because Evil Lyn and Tila are essentially the same characters, only the head is changed on them.
Right.
It's basically just a new paint job. That's
the head is not even. The head is not even Tila's head.
No, that's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But yeah, it was a nice score to get this. I think I got it for like $15.
Right. I've never seen those. That's a new one to me.
Forgotten Warriors of the Universe. I think that's what they're called. Forgotten Warriors of the Universe. And Minton Box Movie just corrected us. It is Cyclone, but it's spelled SY-KLONE, which is why I always think it's Skyclone.
Yeah, so I guess it's like it's Cyclone because he's spinning like a cyclone. I guess
that makes sense. Yeah. He's not a clone of the sky, so. No. So you were correct. All right, I'm down to the last. Oh,
there's more. To be honest, I thought that was it.
No, there's more. There's one more little thing here.
What was that then?
I remember. I think this is like the initial, conversation for this box.
Oh, yes, I remember. Yes.
Because if you can see behind me, I have a vintage Castle Grayskull, which is full of parts. Like, I bought it on eBay because I had all kinds of Castle Grayskulls on my eBay watch list, and I was just waiting for like the perfect one. And this one was mostly complete, but it was missing the weapons rack and some other small things. But the person said that they'd stuck some other stuff in there, and it's still, I can see a bunch of stuff inside of it, but I never opened it. Like, after I took it out of the box, I put it there, and then I just started putting toys around it, and I never opened it up to see what's actually inside. So, and there's also toys that have been falling down into it from my collection. So maybe over the holidays, I'm going to open it up and just see what's inside. But
now would be a good time to open it then, see what you've got. So
maybe, yes. All right, so yeah, maybe I'll do that now then. Right here, we've got the weapon rack.
That's a bit busted, unfortunately, but it's a good starter point. It's the only one I had. So
no, thank you very much. No, it looks great to me. I love this color too. This like orangey brown color. Yeah, and I'll give these a good scrub with a toothbrush.
Yeah, these are just from my loft box of parts. So it's
we were like talking as you were going through your attic, I believe.
That's right. So you've got, I think there's a good selection of weapons there. I think there's the little gargoyle thing to work the lift as well, the sort of bat shaped gargoyle. Yes. Did I include that?
Yes, this right here.
Yeah, and then also in a little baggie is the very small gun that is almost always like that one. That is a reproduction from Barbarossa Customs. He sent me a whole load of stuff recently, and that was in his bag of things. I already have an original one in my Castle Grayskull, so I thought I'd send you that one because that is the toughest thing to find for Castle Grayskull. It's always missing. It's such a small little gun.
It looks great.
Yeah, his reproduction is really nice. It's a pretty good color match.
There's also this, I guess, this bit of a shield of some sort.
Yeah, if you find one with the middle bit, you're lucky.
Yeah. And is this the gun that mounts on the top?
Yeah, I didn't have the base for it. I just have the gun part. So yeah, there's supposed to be it has like an orange stand that it clips into.
Right. Yeah,
like all these things, if I find more bits, I'll send them your way. But that was all I had at the moment. So
yeah, maybe if you want, we can open that up and see what's actually inside that Castle Grayskull. We've also got this axe and this long gun here. I love the colors of the weapons that came with the Castle Grayskull set. Like, I like this kind of khaki tan color. Yeah, thank you very much. These are definitely pieces that I need. But yeah, like you suggested, maybe it's a good time to crack that open and see what's inside. All right.
You've got to move an awful lot of stuff to get to it. That's the problem.
Not too bad. I'll set some of these guys off here. If you guys have any questions for Dave or I, let us know right now. Is a good chance to ask it.
And I'm going to do a little plug here. If you want a Japanese-inspired Toy Polloi t-shirt, check out my Teespring account. And under all of my videos, there are links to merchandise and things that you can get from me. And I have a Japanese Toy Polloi logo t-shirt. So quite fitting as we're on Jeremy's channel today.
Yes, go buy one right now. Oh, shyster. Oh, there's my Evil Lynn. I found her. She just fell down off of beneath Grayskull. I actually found this Evil Lynn and Attila. I already had Evil Lynn and Attila, but I found these at a hobby off out in the countryside, like mint. Like, these are like unscathed, and they're not the reproductions. They're originals.
Yeah, whenever I go to hobby off, it's the ones outside of Tokyo that I find are better. They certainly. I think the problem with the ones in Tokyo is they're easy to get to, and so everybody goes there and strips the store of the sort of the good stuff. If you go to the one I go to is near Hana Kogane, is it sort of?
I know it was one of the Koganes. There's a few Kogane stations.
I think it's we have a friend who lives out that way, and so whenever we go and visit her husband always takes me to go to a hobby off and that, and we always go and spend a good couple of hours. It's always good stuff there. I've come out. I think that's where I found my boxed Optimus Prime.
Oh, nice.
And it was like 5,000 yen, and at the time that was about £35. So sort of really cheap.
I've never been to that particular one. I live pretty close to the Kogane area, but I usually go out to Hachioji. And I've done some videos there, but I found that the hobby off that I usually go to, and I filmed in a couple of times, there's a separate building with like children's clothing and women's clothing and purses and jewelry and stuff like that. But if you go upstairs in that separate building, there is a wall that just says retro in Japanese. And there's a whole other department of just like stuff from the 50s, 60s, and 70s, like Japanese machinery and like old refrigerators and like silverware and just anything that's kind of has that retro Japanese vibe. But they have an entire case of vintage toys. And that's where I found this Evil Lynn and Tila just in there with all this old Japanese stuff. And it was I think the pair of them for 2,000 yen. So basically $10 a piece. So that was like,
with the weapons is getting harder to find all these things.
I forgot she was also in there.
Oh, blimey. That's one I don't have still. She
was missing her staff, but again, she was only 2,000 yen. And she's also like pristine. So
yeah, that's a lovely looking figure. That's one I don't have. I have the staff, but I don't have the figure. So one day I'll find the figure to go with it.
Well, we'll pretend that she lost her staff in England. And
well, if I don't find one, what I should do is I'll give you the staff, because it would be silly.
That's like $100 staff. I'm aware. I'm well aware of that.
It's silly, but it's sometimes silly to keep the accessories for something that you don't have. It's much better to pass that on to someone who can make use of it. It's a figure I may find, but I doubt it. My whole collection is figures I may find.
So we got some questions here. Dave, I'm going to keep grabbing this stuff. Would you be able to read off a couple of the questions?
if I knew how to, hang on a sec, do I have to leave full screen? Can I read things?
Or
I don't think
if you can't find it, I'll just read it.
I think you better read it. I don't know how to do it.
No worries. Let's see. See if there's one that you can answer while I'm grabbing stuff. How long does it take for a parcel to reach Japan from the UK? So when did you send this package off?
That one was surprisingly quick. I think I only sent it to you like 2 weeks ago. I mean, it was a really quick one.
Yeah, recently things have sped up quite a lot. UK is actually one of the slowest countries out of recent. Like, I sent the package to a friend in the US last Monday, and he received it like on Thursday.
Right. Oh yeah, no, I was surprised because I sent that to you and I was expecting it to be 4 to 6 weeks for it to get to you, and then I think you messaged me like just slightly over a week after I'd posted it and saying it would arrive. It's like, so yeah, surprisingly quick. But like Ishii, Toy Cat's showcase Ishii, I've traded with him a few times, and like he sent some massive packages and they've arrived like within a few days. So
yeah, I guess it all just depends.
Yeah, I think the bigger the package generally goes via FedEx or something like that, and that's really quick. The package I sent you was just standard UK Royal Mail. I think it was the cheapest option.
Yeah,
but yeah, and it's very hard to know when you post here whether it's going to go by land or by sea or by air. And I'm guessing it went by air because it met some criteria. And
I think like a lot of the boats taking stuff by sea are all backed up currently too, from what I hear. International shipments by boat are all backed up, so maybe they're doing more air since there's probably less people traveling, so they're probably using more commercial airlines to ship packages.
But the box I sent you, it wasn't a huge box either. I think it was only just slightly over 1 kilo in weight. I think if you send bigger, heavier stuff, then you may end up with a lot longer delay. But certainly for that one, surprised me.
Also, Mint in Box movie. Remembered the name for that line. Oh Jesus, this one. Forgotten Wars of the Universe. Yeah, so I finally got it. It was Forgotten Wars of the Universe, and he said that this character specifically is called Vigorita. Vigorita. Let's see. And the Tila version was called Venezuela. Okay. All right. Oh, he went to go check out your shirts. Let's see. Yeah, he also he comes to Japan quite often too. Yeah, he agrees that Hobby Off is the best for unexpected treasures. And
I certainly find Hobby Off is the best. Like things in Mandarake, they know the price, they know how rare they are. It's the shops where it is like Hobby Off, where it's just selling stuff off. They're the much better places to get bargains. But that's the same here in the UK. You know, you find the bargains in the charity shops where they don't know what they're selling. It's always the case.
Oh, here we get another question here from Impossible Pie, and this is one you can answer because you pre-COVID came to Japan every year. Is it very rare or quite common to find North American toys in Japan?
No, I would say there's plenty of Western toys to be found. It really depends what you're hunting for. Certainly, like Jeremy and I have been sort of toy hunting together, and there are shops that just specialize in Western toys, but the prices are expensive. You know, you're much better off buying Western toys in the West. They're a lot cheaper.
Yes.
Although you still can find bargains. I've occasionally been to, like in Nakano Broadway, I've bought some quite good cheap things, like cheap, US stuff. So you do get lucky. Robot always seems to have some stuff like cheap. I bought quite a few carded figures, things that I wasn't expecting to find there. But on the whole, Japanese toys are cheaper in Japan. Western toys are more expensive in Japan because there aren't so many of them.
Unless you're a big collector of Power of the Force 2, they're cheap everywhere.
Yes. Yeah, Power of the Force 2. But it used to be episode 1. I like the first few times I came to Tokyo, I bought Japanese versions of episode 1 figures carded. because they were like 200 or 300 yen each. They were so cheap. I think now episode 1 stuff, some of it is getting more expensive because it's
there's
20 odd years old.
Right. Yeah, and there's a fan base for those younger collectors that grew up with those movies. Sorry, I'm adjusting my camera.
Like when I trade with people in Japan, I always trade Western toys. So I'll stuff that's easier to get here is much more sought after in Japan, and like vice versa. The stuff I collect, the Japanese toys, is generally easier for you to get, and for me to send to me. I know with Ishii, like when I traded him. What did I trade him? It was quite a rare. It was still quite rare here. It was a cyborg UFO. What do you call it? Cybo invader, like a big thing. I paid about £150 for it here. But Ishii was like, he'd never seen one. He'd never seen one in Japan, and was very unlikely to see one. So I traded it with him because it was, it was so rare for him to see something like that. What you can get Western toys, but they're just more expensive. That's the general rule of these things.
Yep. That's like for example, Master of the Universe stuff. It's quite hard to find here. There have been a few places where I could get it. There was a place in Nishi Ogikubo that used to have quite a lot of them for good prices, but normally like the prices you see on eBay are what you'll find them here for, but you also have to factor in that they usually add like the cost of like an import charge. So whatever it would cost to ship it, they include that in the price. So it's not much different from buying it on eBay. So yeah, but you'll get lucky sometimes. So Origins, since those have been coming out, they don't really sell those here. Like you were saying, Robot has stuff. They get the Origin stuff in because they order a lot of cases directly from the US. But again, they have to charge an import price because they have to ship all that over here. But yeah, some people may or may not have friends that live on military bases here that are able to get Origins figures at cost. And they didn't get any today, but they did. They wouldn't show it on camera right now.
No, I think the Origins stuff, it's not really a Japanese toy line, is it? No, that it's like He-Man. I don't think would have been that big in Japan as a show.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, to say you won't find it here at all. No. The only stuff you'll find here are like your standard like Marvel, Star Wars stuff. You can find all that, and a lot of the toys now that are popular are like the Tamashii Nations action figures, like the Figure Arts and the Mafex or Mafex. A lot of that stuff is made here. So, but that's the stuff that you can find pretty much any country at this point. Yeah,
I like the Star Wars stuff I buy when I do get to come to Japan. I like the little metal Star Wars figures that they do. I forgot the name of them.
Metal
made by Tomi Takara. Those ones, because those are a very sort of specific style to Japan. You can get them on import, but they are expensive here. But in Japan, they're 800 yen each or something. Are they not?
Right. They've since you've been here, they've expanded that line. So they currently have Star Wars. They have the Marvel characters. They have Ultraman versions of them.
Oh, really? Right.
They've got quite a bit of those now. We got a question from. Let's see. Actually, let me back up again. Minton Box said, you mentioned starting collecting 25 years ago again, and what was the reason you got back into collecting? And then he also asked when was your first trip to Japan, and do you find collecting different then as opposed to now?
That's a long question. I would say I started collecting again like early 20s, so sort of 21, 22. I think I got a job, my first job, and I got a flat, and my day job is doing computer graphics for games, so it's a very sort of toy related world, and I just sort of regretted having got rid of all my toys, so I started buying Star Wars figures and Transformers again then, and it sort of spiraled into what you can see behind me now. So yeah, it's that's just really what started. Oh, hang on 1 second. Thank you. Mrs. Toy Polloi has just brought me a cup of tea too. So that's
Toy Polloi.
So I just sort of, I guess I had disposable income again, and was like, oh well, I want all these toys that I never had, and and yeah, I've been collecting ever since. So yeah, I'm now, so 25 or more years I've been collecting, and yeah, I don't see any sign of it stopping. The other part of the question was Japan. I think Mrs. Toy Polloi and I went to Japan maybe 15 years ago, maybe slightly. Yeah, I'm going to say 15 years, and we've probably been 10 or 12 times since, maybe a bit more every year. Anyway, we try to go if we can. There's only been a few instances when we've not been. Yeah, a lot of toing and froing to Japan. Because how many times have we met up, Jeremy? 5 or 6, maybe,
something like that. Yeah, it's been at least 4 or 5.
Yeah, so yeah, I've been going a long time. Yeah, and certainly the collecting has changed. When my first trip to Japan, I bought some quite like the exchange for a start. The exchange rate was massively different. So I think when I first had a chance to go there, the exchange rate was sort of 250 yen to the pound, whereas now it's like 150 yen to the pound. So I bought stuff I couldn't afford now. So I still probably couldn't afford it now just because it was so cheap. I bought a Gatchaman God Phoenix by Uni 5, and I remember picking it up in Kiddieland. Like, in Kiddieland is not a cheap shop at all in Harajuku, but I think I paid £75 for it. And now, like, actually now if you tried to buy one, you're talking like £600 or £700. They're stupidly expensive. So yeah, it's changed a lot, certainly. But I think as well, I've met people like your good self who know better areas to go shopping. And the first time I went to Japan, I didn't know the good places to go shopping. Now, with your local knowledge,
you knew quite a bit, I think, about a lot of the places that were good. Like, for example, I think you went to the big flea market before I ever went there.
Yeah, that flea market is amazing. That's a really good, down in Shinagawa.
Right, yeah, at the racetracks under the parking lot. That's one place that I've been wanting to go back since I believe they're open back up now, because they were closed during most of the COVID pandemic situation. But yeah, that's a really nice flea market.
We've only been there a few times. I think we've been maybe 3 or 4 times. The last few times we've been, I found some fantastic things. I found some carded reissue Microman, 100 yen each. I mean, it just like 100 yen is like, what? I bought some weird sort of Gatchaman stuff there, and yeah, all sorts of things. It's a great place to go if you ever go to Tokyo. Sunday morning, get there early. Shinagawa racecourse.
Yeah, it's called the Oikeba racetrack flea market. Yeah. Let's see here. And also, yeah, I believe the first time you came here was around the same time that I moved here, but we didn't know each other until at least a good 5 years or so after that. Yeah,
I wish I could remember how long ago it was, but it must be about 15 years that we've been traveling to Tokyo, because we have friends who live sort of near, in the outskirts of Tokyo. So we just come and visit, and now when we come, we visit you guys and like Don and Ishii and everything. Yeah, I've met more people, each time we come, and it's always good fun. You can see I've got a Gundam mug as well, just to keep it all Japanese today.
They just announced that they're closing down the Gundam Cafe out in Akihabara.
Oh, that's where this came from.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah, I don't know when it was there today, but I don't know when it's closing down. But it's going to be gone. I guess the lack of tourism over the past couple of years has probably hurt it.
Oh, that's a shame, because there's also one in Odaiba where the big Gundam robot is. Hopefully that will stay.
Yeah, I'm sure the big robots will be staying or moved around to other places. So we got a hello from Nick. Hello, Nick. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. It looks like Minton Box also lived in Shinagawa. Or Daikanyama, okay. Anyway, I know Chris lives in Shinagawa. And we got a couple other friends that live in Shinagawa. That's quite far for me, though. It's a bit of a... If I go to that flea market, I have to wake up really early. I have to wake up at like 4 or 5 a.m.
Yeah, when we go, we generally stay in Ikebukuro, so sort of the northwest sort of side of Tokyo. So it's quite away from there as well. You've got to go all the way around and then down. So it takes us you know, a good hour to get there, but it's well worth it. You've got to,
Yeah.
You know, even if you just do it once, it's really good fun, and there's so much stuff there to see.
Yeah, maybe I'll do a live stream or another video there soon. See how it is post COVID. They're also, by the way, Superfest was canceled this year. They had Superfest a year ago. I did a video there, but they said they were going to cancel all of Superfest this year. But the COVID infection rates have gone down so dramatically that they've decided to have a spur of the moment Superfest next weekend.
Oh, cool.
So I think it may be like a smaller, less vendors because it was so short notice. But yeah,
it's quite packed, that place. When it's on, it is really, there's no space to move. So I could understand it being quite a COVID risk.
That's why last year I did film there, and there were still quite a lot of people, but they were letting them in. They were staggering the amount of people that could go in, and it was like you could freely walk around. And I got there quite late because of the line you had to wait in. I didn't get there early enough to get in like first, but I still got like a bunch of great deals on stuff that was still sitting around. Usually a lot of it's been picked through by the time that I get there. So that was nice. But, it was also kind of sad. There was a lot of indie toy makers there that basically were not doing any business because they rely on the tourism and stuff like that. So that part was sad, but I found some rare stuff that I was happy about.
I've only been there once, and would love to, if it's on next time we're over, I will definitely make a sort of a beeline for it, because it was good. I picked up what did I pick up? Microman stuff. Always, a lot of reissue things, but like at good prices as well. Some of those 4-pack ones.
Prices are always great. And if anyone's not familiar, Superfest is one of the biggest. It's essentially like a flea market, but it's for designer and vintage toys. So like Wonderfest is much bigger, but Wonderfest is for garage kits and designer toys exclusively, whereas Superfest is more of a flea market for all kinds of stuff, and you usually find lots of good deals there. But yeah, I will hopefully be filming that next Sunday. We'll see how it goes. But so this is the Castle Grayskull that we were talking about a moment ago, where I purchased this on eBay. I think I got it from a seller in Canada, got it for a good price, and it was mostly complete. But when I received it, I told Dave some of the things that it was stated to have been missing. So he's helped me out with some of the items here. But I'm not entirely sure what was actually included when they sent it, because they put all of the items inside the castle. But when I received it, I just put it on display on top of my
I can't believe you didn't open it.
No, I rarely have much time anymore, except for like this after midnight time. So I think it was like on a lunch break. I came home and I was like, yay, and then I stuck it up there. And then when I came home, I ate and then started working on something else. So anyway, let's see what's inside. And also, I mentioned before, since I've had it, since it does have gaping holes, I've dropped stuff in here already that I've lost. So there's some stuff in here that's not from the seller. Actually, how does this open from this side?
The other side. There's 2 clips. You just sort of push them, but be careful because they do snap.
Yes. Ooh. All right. Get some of this bubble wrap out. So let's. I'll show you the pieces that are included here, and let me real quick for those just joining. I will show you the pieces that Dave has sent me. So he sent me the weapon rack, a few weapons, including the top of the gun mount, and then a reproduction of the smaller gun that he says is always missing. This little shield piece. So inside we've got the ladder. We've got the battering ram, which
it goes on. That goes on a little stand. You're supposed to sort of, it's a sort of a jousting pole thing. Okay. You hit and it sort of spins around. I guess that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, the head looks like a Gamorrean guard or something. All right. Like I said, I had a Castle Grayskull when I was a kid, but I don't remember like actually opening it up that much. I think I just kind of left it as it was. I don't remember if I actually like even assembled all the pieces inside. But
if I turn my camera, you can see mine is just here. But
yeah.
mine doesn't get open much either. It's because it takes up way too much space, so it just sort of sits in the background. And
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bought mine since I started getting these Origins again, and then getting interested in collecting some of the vintage stuff again. Yeah, I was like, I need something, a centerpiece, and it's just such a cool design. We got the chair here, the throne. Again, most of these pieces, these will never be seen again after I close it back up. Hey, here's Tila's staff. I dropped that down there. That's looking for that. Let's see. We've got this gun. I think this is this same gun.
Yep, it's the same gun. Yep.
All right, so I can keep one on the weapon rack and one in someone's hand, or I can give someone a double-fisted gun. We've also got one of the flags.
Yeah, that just sort of sticks on the. There's a sort of top on one of the towers. It's supposed to sort of stick on the bottom of a platform on the tower. It doesn't. Right. It doesn't really go anywhere. It's a bit of an annoyance.
Right here.
Yes, on that one. Yeah.
What is? Oh, something just fell out. Okay, it looks like here's another platform piece of some sort.
That's part of the. Looks like part of the trap system that goes under the chair.
Yes, the trap door.
The trap door. Yes, the other side.
Yeah,
the other shelf piece.
Right.
You can see you've got the trap door on the top with the sticker on it. It goes under there and locks onto the bottom of the throne. You turn the throne and it sort of unlocks everything.
I'll show everyone. Here's the side. And there's no decals or anything on that side. But then this side has that. It has the trap door with the decal still on it. And it also has the floor decal. Yeah,
it looks like you're missing most of the lift. The lift mechanism goes on the hole on the other side, so you're missing most of the lift.
Yeah, I see this plugged in. Here.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And then it clips onto the bottom of the throne, and as you turn the throne, it unlocks the trap door. And so you can drop Skeletor into the dungeon below.
Yeah, we'll get that working at some point. I love this carpet that goes under the eyeball on it. That's great.
I think that the dungeon bit and the below is a really lovely drawing. I've seen someone makes a rug of that, so you can have it on your floor. That's
great too.
It's fantastic. I think if my room was a bit bigger and a bit tidier, I would get the rug of that just to have it as the floor piece, because it just looks so cool.
Yeah, I love the sculpt on the back too of this thing. It's a shame that you can't. Well, I guess if I put it in the middle of the room, I can appreciate it a bit more. Another dimension, but
now you need to get Snake Mountain as well to go with it.
There's a box Snake Mountain at Mandarake. I think it was relatively cheap, but I think something was snapped on it. I think it's still sitting there. But yeah, I don't want Snake Mountain. I don't have any work with it.
I have Snake Mountain, but it's in the loft. I would love to have them both on display, but one is enough. Snake Mountain I think Snake Mountain is it sort of takes up even more space. It's a bit bulkier and that. And I've actually just been, you'll see in a couple of weeks on my channel, I've just been restoring the Fright Zone, which is another one that is quite a big thing. It's the one with the sort of snake puppet thing.
Right.
And that as well, I fixed it all up and it looks lovely, but I just got no space for it. So I've had to box it up again and put it away. At some point, I'll need to upgrade Toy Polloi to be 10 times as big as this room. And then I might actually be able to display all the things that I've sort of been fixing up. Those play sets just look great. They just, they're so nice. They're so badly painted, but the sculpture sort of does all the work on them.
Yeah. That's what I love about them. That's why it's the same kind of vibe as like some of the classic soft vinyl toys. They're just the quick sprays, and then the sculpt does all the talking.
Yeah,
it's nice. But I'll probably never open this up again. I'm gonna dump all those pieces inside. I'll display the weapons rack with all the weapons hanging up on the wall somewhere behind it or on the front. But yeah, thank you for helping to get it completed. I will, once I find some more pieces, I'll eventually probably try to do a video where I put it back together or something. But yeah, it's nice to have.
If I find more, in the meantime, I will put them aside for you, and I'll start building you another box to send. Maybe, hopefully, we can do this in person, because it's much more fun doing this in person. But not that this hasn't been fun, but it's just much more fun to be able to chat together. So I'll start putting some more bits by for you. I do actually have one other thing already here for you, which I think we've talked about, but it was too big to fit in that box, which was a pulsar. So he will come. I think he will have to come via suitcase and air flight.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I'll patiently await Pulsar's arrival.
Yeah, he's another chap with a clear chest, and we know how much we like clear chests.
I wish I had a clear chest.
I think I'd be quite shocked about what was going on inside mine. mainly chocolate and cups of tea, but
yeah, mine's the same, except coffee instead of tea. Chocolate and coffee. All right. Well, if anyone has any final questions, maybe we can get this wrapped up. But real quick, I would like to give Dave one more big thanks for sending this box of awesome stuff. Now I've got several piles of just stuff everywhere right now. I'm looking forward to setting it back up in my display.
It's my pleasure. It's always nice to send things on to people who appreciate them. So
well, thank you once again, and hopefully the package I sent arrives soon, and I hope you enjoy what's in there. If anyone's joining in late, Dave and I trade every year. We trade boxes of stuff, so this is part of that. But we've got quite a bit of comments here. Let's see if I missed anything. Minton Box Movie asked if I find filming in shops easier now. I noticed that Mandarake used to not allow filming, but with social media, they seem okay with it now. I've never had a problem with filming in Mandarake. They seem like they don't care at all. But some of the independently owned shops, they will get a bit angry if you film. But recently, they don't say it as much because it's very commonplace for people to be walking around live streaming in these shops. Like even today, I walked into a One Suragaya shop, which was it's like similar to Mandarake, but it's a lesser known chain. And there were literally 3 people live streaming at the same time, unrelated to each other on one floor, like just zooming past each other and past me. So I think these days it's like kind of impossible to avoid with everyone basically having cameras on their phones. But yeah, if your phone makes a loud snapping sound and you're in a shop owned by an older gentleman, they will usually kind of get flustered with you. But I've never had any real problems filming here. And I know, Dave, you've done quite a bit of toy hunting videos at various locations here as well, and I don't think you had many problems.
I've never had any problem, actually. I've never had any problem filming anywhere. I film in a lot of places, just because I like filming things. I think you do yours with your phone, don't you? So you're right. Always holding your phone. Mine, I guess, is possibly a bit more subtle. I have a GoPro with a clip on the back of it, and I'm normally wearing a bag or something, and I just clip this sort of here, so it's in the middle of my chest. So it's quite obvious that I'm filming, but no, I've never had anybody sort of ever query it or anything.
Right. That's how the flea market and garage sale YouTubers do their videos. They have the GoPros, so people are oblivious to the fact that they're filming. But if they notice it, like, oh, what's that?
Yeah, occasionally someone will say, "Are you filming?" And I'll go, "Yeah." And sometimes people will come up to me and start talking to me, and then go, "Oh, I'm sorry, you're filming," and just walk off. So, like they are more concerned about that they're ruining the stuff I'm filming than I'm filming in their shop or something. So, no. But then, like people like Ishii, Toy Cat's showcase. I know he doesn't have a shop at the moment, but I would just go into him and say, "Can I film?" Because his shop is quite small, and I just say to him, "Can I film?" He'd be like, "Yeah, fine, do what you." I guess he sees it as just it's free advertising, isn't it? Whatever your audience is are going to see his shop and be more inclined to go and see it. So I don't think most places care.
Right. If it wasn't for some of my early videos where I filmed at Toy Cats, I wouldn't have met some of my good friends that I have today.
Mm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that's a big part of the social relationship, I think, with the toy community here, and like the international collectors and stuff that I've met. So yeah, it's without.
Yeah. But I've filmed in like Toys R Us and other sort of bigger toy shops. I'm sure I've filmed in Kiddieland and places like that, and no one particularly cares. No one ever stops you. It's never been an issue.
Yeah.
As I say, even in the UK, I think people probably would be more cautious of you filming than the Japanese, because Japanese are very used to seeing people film. But even in the UK, no one has ever queried me for doing it.
All right. Nick says, after watching Dave restore Castle Grayskull, his son Jax has wanted him to get one ever since. But man, premium these days.
Say hi to Nick and Jax. They are friends of mine and Mrs. Toy Polloi. They don't live too far away from here. I saw them both at the recent toy fair down at Shepton Mallet. So yes, awesome. Hi to them.
Yeah, hi Nick and Jax. Thanks for joining. Yeah, the Castle Grayskull is one of those things. You know, I had to sacrifice one of my large play sets to get this Grayskull placed. And it's a sad one, but it's one I thought was worth the swap. And that was my Firehouse, my Ghostbusters.
Oh, see, I still want one of those. I only have 2 play sets in my room here. Yeah. I've shown you Castle Grayskull. If I turn this way, you might be able to see. I have also the Fortress of Fangs, which is from Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah,
that's the only other place that I have sort of on display. Purely again just for the size of it, but I love that one as well. It's such a weird, ugly playset. But the Firehouse is one that I do want as well at some point. I wasn't ever into Ghostbusters, and then I met you.
I'm sorry. Now you've got that awesome like Ghostbusters artwork. That's busting ghosts.
I also have this massive bag of Ghostbusters figures that just sort of keeps growing. I keep adding more and more Ghostbusters to it.
Oh man, I remember the first time I gave you some Ghostbusters. Some were broken, some were complete. But I remember I brought them to a train station one night, and
that's right.
And I was just like, oh, I hope he does a video of these. And yeah, it was 5 years later, right? 5 or 6 years later.
I've apologized for that. I am quite slow in my fixing, and you've seen.
I'm not complaining. I was just happy that you really jumped on it after you finally did start one. You like fully embraced it.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I don't know. I think I missed the cartoon, but once you've given me the toys, it took me a while. I think the reason it took 5 years is I couldn't work out how to fix them, and so it took me 5 years to come up with a solution that I thought was worthy of fixing them. But once I did, I like at the recent toy fair, I bought the granny thing. I've started really getting into them, so I keep picking them up every time I go somewhere now. So it's your fault. I completely blame you for this.
Well, I'm honored that you blame me. Let's see here. Impossible Pie asked if they can have a sneak peek of your next toy fix, or what could you say about your next toy fix?
Well, I'm just trying to think. I can show you one of the toy fixes, which is this, which will be along in about 2 weeks, I think 3 weeks, which is Steve Austin's bionic transport and repair station. So that will be along, very soon. I think that's like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then I'm trying to remember what I have restored. Do you know what? I can't remember. I have videos lined up until January. That's how far. That's how far. Because at the moment I'm not filming. I'm doing work on the house, and it's taking up all of my time. So, what else have I got lined up? There's a Transformers one next week, Twin Twist and Top Spin, and then we have. Well, I did mention the Fright Zone, Masters of the Universe Fright Zone is a 2-parter because that's a big project.
Right.
Yeah. There's a lot. Oh. There is one other one I can tell you about. If you know what those are. Centurions.
Yeah. Centurions, hold on. Where's my bootleg Centurions? Oh, I've got to find it. I've got to show you this glorious thing. Where's it at? I've never been a collector of Centurions, but I found some Korean bootlegs that were like so amazing I couldn't not buy them.
Oh, well, I filmed for my video coming up. I filmed a repair on the Centurion's arms about, I would say 4 or 5 years ago. It's not a line I collect either, but I was recently contacted by a guy who runs the Facebook group for Centurions, asking if I would do an update on the fix, if I'd thought of something better since I filmed the first one. So this is an update on that with a better fix for their broken arms, because their arms, if you collect them, their arms are always broken. So yeah, I now have a better fix. It uses Lego. I'm not going to show you what the Lego pieces are, but it uses Lego, and you can easily put their arms back on. So that's an update video coming. I think that was just before Christmas. Yeah, but as I say, I have videos until December the 26th lined up, and then I don't know what's happening. And hopefully by then I will have finished the work on my house and I can get back to actually filming again.
All right, cool. I can't find my bootleg. It's buried. Anyway, going back to we were talking about filming at Toy Cats. We got a couple people, including Steven. Steven commented, that's how he found Ishi and Toy Cats, was through our videos. And then
yeah, that's what I think. I think what we do is a benefit to toy shops, so they should be pleased that people are taking the time to film in them.
Right, and we've also got Kaiju McCartney said the same thing. He wouldn't know about Toy Cats if it wasn't for us. So that's awesome. Yeah, and hopefully Toy Cats will open back up at some point soon. If anyone's not aware, Toy Cats was a toy shop located in a basement building in Kichijoji, Tokyo, but due to some renovations, they had to demolish the building, which was several businesses, not just his. So he's waiting to relocate. So we're hopefully going to see that shop back in action soon. So fingers crossed for that. Yep. I'm sure Ichi will probably end up watching this video as well. So hi, Ichi, if you're watching.
And as soon as he does, I will be over and I will be filming and promoting his store, because to be honest, Toy Cats, I think, is possibly my favorite shop of all time. Whenever I come to Tokyo, it's not, his shop is amazing, but Ishi is such a nice chap, and actually his family are lovely. We always go out for dinner with them. I mean, I always have a fantastic time chatting with him, and then his shop is just, it was just an amazing wall of toys. Everywhere you look, there were more toys, and you'd say to him, "Have you got this?" and he'd go for a little rummage. And then something would have been like, where does it all come from? It's just the most amazing shop ever.
Last week, I met him last weekend, just to hang out for a little bit. Occasionally we'll meet up at Nakano and do some toy hunting together. And he brought me, he remembered, I had mentioned there was this Gashapon line of miniature 80s electronics, and he remembered that I wanted it, and he brought me a set of them. But here's a little video camcorder that actually has working, all the parts move, the battery can slide out the back. It even opens up with a cassette tape inside.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, stuff like this. But he still does sell Gashapon toys, so you can still buy from him on Amazon and Yahoo Japan. So anyone that wants to support him, I believe if you search Toy Cats through any of those things, he's still actively selling stuff.
Yeah, he's just a nice guy. I think he's one of those people. Every time I go there, we spend hours chatting. I'm nowadays, I always take stuff to trade with him as well, because I know the sort of things he likes, and we do quite a lot of swapping and stuff. But he's just always got something cool there. And I picked up some real weird things at his shop, things I would never expect to pick up. I picked up a Chips motorbike and policeman, from the TV show Chips. It's like, why is that on your shelf?
That reminds me, today, because I think that Chips motorbike was made by a Japanese company, wasn't it? Not Buddy L?
No, I think they're Migo. So they're little Migo figures.
Right,
but I don't know.
There may be two different bikes. There's also another series of bikes, and I believe they're American released, but I think they were. The bikes that I'm thinking of were released are made in Japan. There was a Chips too, but I can't remember which one you picked up. But
yeah, it was the Migo one was the one I grabbed off him. But also, his cupboard full of 12-inch Boba Fett's and Stormtroopers and Darth Vader's. I think that was one of the first things I ever saw in his shop, because he walked down the stairs and he's got this glass cabinet filled with 12-inch vintage 12-inch Star Wars figures. It's like, oh, it's just an amazing wall of stuff. I love it.
Yeah, today I bought this because they had a boxed chips version, but then nearby they had this Spider-Man bike.
Oh, wow.
And they had one that had the Chips logo with a policeman on it. Unfortunately, this didn't have Spider-Man on it, but they also had a Iron Man version. But yeah, these are like 1980s. They had like the superpowers markings on the boxes. But yeah, it's made in Japan by some company. What did it say? I saw it in here earlier. Anyway, but yeah, I was wondering if that was the same bike or not. But yeah, because I found
the one I've got is the Migo figures. You know, Migo made the sort of the 6-inch dolls, and they made 3 3/4-inch figures, like quite more like G.I. Joe, so like jointed elbows and
I remember seeing those in there, but I couldn't remember exactly what size they were.
Yeah, no, he had that, and it was like, why I didn't like it didn't fit with anything else that he had in the store. But it's like, oh, look at that, I've got to have that just because it's so odd. So I picked up some weird things from him over the years, like certainly. Like lots of Micro Man and Cyborg stuff. He's always got, you know, I think he is the Micro Man, if ever there was one.
For sure. Also, Kaiju McCartney, who also lives out in England, he said he found, going back to the firehouse, he found a firehouse for £1 recently. So you got lucky, just like you got that French He-Man for £1.
Yeah, that's a good thing to find. There's still stuff out there you can find. You know, you can find bargains.
And then Nick also said he bought Jack's Playmobil Ghostbusters Firehouse and Ecto one a few years back, and they're so cool. Yeah, those are cool. I didn't have the Firehouse, but I had the Ecto 1A, and yeah, it was really nice. I just wish I wish it would fit the Kenner figures. Like it's the right size, but yeah, they won't quite fit inside.
That is one of my potential projects. I've been meaning to do it for ages. I have this smashed up Ecto 1 that I've been working on sort of on and off. I've not filmed any of it, so I think people will be disappointed because it was smashed to pieces. I've been rebuilding all of the back of it from using styrene sheet, but I want to respray this and put electronics in it and make it, you know, lights flash and all sorts of things.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
That may be a project for next year. I don't know. Well, look, there's another Janine in there. I should have sent you more Janines. So, yeah, I think that may be a project for next year. It's been on my to-do list for a long time, but I just I get sidetracked.
Yeah, I can imagine you've got quite a list of projects going on there. Real quick, we got one more comment here from Mr. Alan Hammerton, who we both
Alan,
know.
We know Alan. Hello.
He says, hi, guys. Hearing Japan may be opening up soon, so looking forward to getting a chance to go to Toy Cats and many other places. Yeah, I'm looking forward to meet you in person, Alan.
Yeah, well, I was chatting with Alan this last week or something. The Japan special of Fusion magazine. Both Jeremy and I write regularly for Fusion magazine. I think every month I write a toy article, and there's a Japanese special coming up, which you have written for as well. There's a summer special, a toy summer special that's just out as well, which is like an annual, so like 100 and, well, I don't know. It's a big, like a A5 old-fashioned annual full of articles all about toys. So yeah, it's well worth getting.
Fusion magazine. I believe Dave probably has all of the links somewhere on his website or YouTube
I do,
video.
yes. Yeah, I think, if you follow me on Twitter, I actually retweet a lot of their stuff because I do, as I say, I write for them every month. I write some toy-based article.
The magazine's great.
Yeah, it's good fun. I think I've been writing a good few years now. I've certainly written an awful lot of articles for them. So every month there's some new witterings of me about toys.
Right. So it's a retro game focus, but there's also the toy section, correct?
Yeah. And the summer special is just toys. It's just about toys. So that's
awesome.
You know, if you're toy fans like we are, that's well worth getting.
Yeah. Keep your eyes peeled for the Japan special. I'll be promoting that and linking that once that's ready. Yeah, I've been working on that article for a while now. It's been pushed back a few times, and I've been busy as well. But yeah, I've been wrapping that up this week, so that's been a long time coming. I'm sure Alan's also looking forward to getting that one completed. So I think it'll be a really nice volume for people that are interested in the Japanese toys and games and whatnot. All right, guys. Well, the only other thing that I was thinking about doing before I wrapped it up, but I'm not sure how much time Dave has. I went to Akihabara today and I picked up a couple special things that I was going to maybe show off real quick that I'd been looking for a while. And you might get some hints of some things that I sent you based on this. But
well, I better wait around by the sounds of it. Or do you want me to go so I'm fully surprised?
No. But none of the things in here are specifically items that I sent you, but they are related. At least some of them are related to some things I sent you.
Go on then. I will stay around.
So like I said, I did not get this from a friend that does not live on the military base where they do not carry these in stock in Japan. That's out of the way.
There's a lot of double negatives in there, wasn't there? So you do or you don't.
There's also there's some stuff in here I got for my son for his birthday's coming up soon. I'm not going to show those. But like here's a couple weird things I got. I got these inflatable Kinnikuman things. These like blow up into like little chibi dolls that have like arms that you can wrap around your arm or seatbelt or chair or whatever. They're only 100 yen a piece, but yeah. Anyway. So the first thing that I got here is people that follow me know that I've recently been collecting some of the figure arts, but only the Kamen Rider stuff from like the late 80s era. And I've been wanting one of the very first original Kamen Rider figures with he's got like the green, because the original Kamen Rider had two versions. He had the first version where he's like all green, he has a white belt, and his mouth is green. And the later version, they gave him a silver mouth. They changed his belt to red. And they changed the color of his gloves. But the figure arts version of that is really hard to find. And I found one today for a reasonable price for this kind of thing. So that's this right here, the Master Rider version 1 with the green and stuff. I never see these pop up anymore. And they're always like hundreds of dollars on eBay. So I grabbed that one. And these are really nice action figures. I used to say like, oh God, these are, expensive, whatever. But if you find them for a reasonable price, they're like really nice action figures. But only like the ones that like, in my opinion, the ones that are like in suits, like the ones that look like animated characters or something, they don't do it for me. They don't look right. And yeah, I got a lot of this stuff for my son. I'm not going to go through that. Here we go. So this is the other item I got. I had been looking for a soft vinyl version of also the original Kamen Rider, specifically one that had a vinyl scarf and one that you could remove the mask. And the vintage ones are like impossibly expensive. And even the more modern Medicom ones are usually like $300, $400 sometimes. But I found, you were talking about Unifive earlier, and I didn't know that Unifive made soft vinyl toys, but I found this Unifive Kamen Rider soft vinyl toy, which I'm going to crack it open right now. I didn't know this existed. And it was a reasonable price. But he's got he's got the vinyl.
That's really sweet.
And his helmet, I don't know if you can tell, it's actually done in like a powder coating style, like metallic glitter. And maybe I shouldn't take off his helmet without warming it up a bit. I don't want to, but if you can see, his helmet comes up. And his boots also come off. So it's usually you don't see like this many removable clothing items on a soft vinyl toy. So I thought this was really cool. And the price was well under what's the other Sotheby's go for. So yeah, anyway, that's a hint of some things you might see in your package.
Well, I will wait and see. And as I say, I will do an unboxing video so that we can. Well, it won't be a live stream like this. I don't do live streams, but I will do an unboxing video, and you will be able to see my my surprise, and my probably I'll have to have a lot of questions answered as well. I'll be going, "What's that?" Because that's generally what happens when I get boxes from you. I'm like, I'm not quite sure what that is. So
right. Well, that's what I enjoy. I enjoy to educate you a little bit, but also get you interested in something new. And I know that you and Miss Toy Polloi do like Ultraman a bit, and I actually picked up something for Steven, who is watching. So Steven, this is coming to you. He already knew that, but a vintage Bullmark Return of Ultraman, just specifically for color study. All right. Well, that's not everything I grabbed, but yeah, that's the important stuff. Oh, and this I got this little real head mini. It's very Skeletor-ish.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's neat. All right, guys, that's it for tonight. Dave, thanks for staying for, what is it, almost 2 hours now?
Yeah, it's about 4 o'clock here, so it must be about 1 o'clock in the morning for you.
Yeah, yep, it's about 1 o'clock. It's a good time to end it, exactly 2 hours. I didn't know if you expected to be here for 2 hours, but I appreciate you for staying this long. And again, thank you for all the awesome stuff you sent. And I hope the package I sent arrives soon. And looking forward to seeing your reaction to some of that stuff that I said as well.
I'll let you know as soon as it gets here, and I'll film something as soon as I can and get it online. So I'm looking forward to it now. I'm intrigued as to what's in there.
Awesome. All right, guys, and thank you all for joining during this live stream. I hope everyone has a good weekend, and I'll be back soon with another video, probably next weekend. We'll see. Superfest. Fingers crossed that, I get that video out. All right, guys. Everyone have a good weekend. See ya next time. Good night. Good morning. Bye-bye.